gotten more aggressive since they've got Cloudnguyen. Yeah, that aggressiveness was misdirected, and it cost them.
Yeah.
But I expect even if they do ban out KiWiKid, that Dignitas are actually going to go for some sort of hard initiation and do a hard initiation team fight strategy. But that's just a guess. We will see here. Annie is still up. They've already banned Thresh, though, so I'm thinking they might follow that up with the last ban, Annie.
So Team Dignitas, Team Liquid heading into our third game of the day here. Rek'Sai does find herself on the ban list.
All right. So
Ahri.
yeah, Ahri. All the junglers are still up. Now, Jarvan, even if Nar's already banned, Jarvan in itself is pretty much the go-to top jungler right now. Rek'Sai banned as well, so
there's quite a bit left open with this ban.
Could
actually,
be an
Kobe.
early pick. So Jen is also still open, also a very strong early pick. We've seen many an early picked Corki. Kalista is definitely available, but I don't really see it as a CoreJJ champion. Oh man, I even forgot about Ahri. She's so ridiculously strong right now.
A lot of things got through in this champion select. Annie gets through and they steal that away. You can just see how happy Dig's coach is there for how much they just got Ahri jumping around behind the team. Very animated. FeniX locking in the Ezreal, which according to last game, that could be your mid lane.
Yep, could very well be your mid lane.
You already have a lot of AP from that bottom.
Looks like Team Liquid put a lot of stock in taking away KiWiKid's Annie.
Yeah.
Bringing that, I mean, we saw Xpecial have a really crazy game on Annie as well. So, I mean, definitely one of the best initiators,
that is
as
true.
KiWiKid said. Followed up with a Maokai, makes her job a little bit easier. One of the biggest things that you can do against Annie is to have just a pure tank on your team and have him stand in front and block her way to the high priority targets that she's trying to stun.
And you were saying the last time they played Annie, or Xpecial did, was actually when they beat CLG. That one dock that CLG has did come from Team Liquid when they grabbed it. So looking very strong with the composition that they're bringing about, or at least for the duo. Morgana and Sivir to be picked up here. A lot of couch potential coming out of Dignitas.
Yeah, locking up the bindings. You know, anytime you combo Morgana with a pick assassin mid lane like Ahri, then there's a lot of potential there. You know, Sivir, goes without saying, speeds up the whole team here. They're missing one thing. They would love if there was still an Ahri up here for the team, but all right, Piglet round 2. All right, another double AD carry team. Ezreal mid. We'll see if FeniX can actually hold up to Link's performance, which was spectacular. Final lock in here is going to be Gnar. Or not Gnar, the Rumble.
Rumble, yeah. So Rumble for Gamsu, that's going to be his first attempt. Dignitas is definitely coming out with a powerful team. I like the composition that they put together here. It definitely bodes well for what could happen in fight phase.
The thing is, we keep seeing Piglet Vayne take apart Sivir. So we'll see if Dignitas can pull off a lane swap here from the very beginning so that they don't really get into trouble. We've had a lot of teams early picking Sivir and having a hard time getting her through lane phase and getting some farm on her and getting some items. See if Dignitas can orchestrate that properly to get CoreJJ smoothly into the mid game.
Yeah.
Really though, so much pressure. I have a lot of expectations on Shiphtur this game.
Okay.
Because everyone nowadays is talking about how Shiphtur is this passive guy. He doesn't play assassins anymore. He's all about farming now.
Not making plays.
He waits for other people to make the plays. But Ahri was his go-to champion for so long. He loves this champion before it was even reworked. Now she's even stronger with the extra move speed. So I'm going to be looking at Shiphtur this game, mid-game plays.
You're seeing the Shiphtur that's taking down the Nexus plays, Shiphtur.
I see it now. I'm seeing Shiphtur coming up big.
All right, if you think you've got a line on which team is going to be victorious, share it with us on Twitter. Send hashtag TLWin or hashtag DIG G1 to us at LOL Esports, and we will tally the votes throughout the game. Crowd is ready. We are ready, and we're going to head into Game 3 on the day. Team Liquid versus Dignitas, and we are on the Rift. We
are on the Rift, and is that SKT Piglet I see? Shoutouts to his old teammate here. Didn't take it the first time around, but now he will honor. And Impact is even over here watching too.
Well, think of the implications that he would have had to go through with social media if he didn't do well on his skin first. Now he kind of has a little buffer room He had a good game on Vayne. He can bring out the skin. Now he's cosplaying himself.
All right. Saplings, great for checking bushes. Also great for starting off the race, as we saw. So we'll see if Quas spends a lot of time up here. Whoa. Or if he decides to go head over to one of those camps. The 1 minute and 20 second is the mark that you want to hit with Maokai to be at whatever camp you're going to start.
Okay.
To start chucking those saplings, because they only last 35 seconds.
You got a beat on that.
Yeah, well, yeah. Simple math. I'm great at addition.
Good thing we have you up here.
All those classes that you have to take in engineering.
Mm-hmm. There's some damage, so it looks like Piglet's going to want to be in the top lane by himself, as per usual. We saw this last time. He actually got a lot of free farm the first time he played Vayne. The team allowed him to do that, and that's something we were looking for. Will it be for him, or will he fend for himself? And the team actually allowed him to do that.
There he is, Quas right on time, stacking up the saplings. Meanwhile, both teams putting in the effort to get those deep wards down. Piglet really looking to find CoreJJ. And again, abuse the Vayne Sivir matchup. Looks like he's got a bead this time.
Yep.
And they are even going to cut him off. Let's see how much damage they can actually get in this trade. Piglet's play, good tumble, but he's actually the one on the receiving end. So can they actually zone them out and make them lose out on a minion of experience? Doesn't. Ooh, misses the CS. So both of them miss the CS. Might have been able to zone the experience there. Xpecial takes a large amount of harass, though.
Good damage, yeah. Starting it off well. Piglet still feels like he can get in for some shots.
Now,
Going to be a great lane to watch for this game.
it will be a good lane, but the Vayne has to be fairly far up in order to punish the Sivir lane. So Cloudnguyen starting on the bottom side of the map really makes me think he will make a 3-minute gank on top lane with double buffs. Jarvan is still, it's easy for him to do level 3 and double buffs and still come out with an early gank. He is one of those junglers, still very much capable of it. All you have to do is, you know, walk back and avoid a little bit of damage from blue buff while you're doing it. It's just the old auto attack, step back, get it to reset its auto attack a couple of times. Remember, only 5 though, or else he will fully reset and you will be a very, very sad jungler.
Little bit behind. Hopefully Dominate and Win don't run into that.
Wow, he is ridiculously low. You should not be that low, actually.
Looks like he was making his way out. Just previously, a ward was placed here. We saw it on your screen just now from Shiphtur. So there was a little bit of safety at least. We can see Dominate talking to QC and getting everything fixed up for himself. And we should be back in the game shortly. But nobody really made moves to put themselves ahead just yet. The lane's quite even as we match up just on the other side of the map.
All right, so it's just a little visual bug here for Dominate. We'll get that one cleaned up quickly for you guys and jump back into the game. Not much has happened, but again, I am a little worried for Cloudnguyen. He's at about 250 to 300 HP going to gank this lane. Now, there's still possibility to pull it off. It would have to be a good binding, though, I think. Puts a little bit more pressure on this gank than there needs to be. But he can still very well pull it off. I think that he may have had a bit of a misstep when he was doing that blue. Took a little bit too much damage from it.
Yeah.
He might not even go for it. Go for crab control. Ooh. That binding does mean quite a lot, considering where the jungler started.
Piglet likes to go aggressive, and that's going to hinder that ability to do so every time he hits the binding. KiWiKid knows he has to stay in the backside, and if they do that, it just makes it harder for Piglet to get the same game he did last time.
All right, so good job, though, by Xpecial and Piglet. They use both trinket wards to ward both entrances, so they don't play it safe and stagger their wards and be a little bit greedy. They completely ward every entrance for the jungle, and they even make a venture down into the river. So they know, very well aware that Jarvan is capable of coming there early. They back off, and no harm, no foul for that lane. However, you know, not able to really zone Sivir too much. CoreJJ and KiWiKid doing a good job getting some CS back, getting control of the lane back. Now they have position, only down a few.
Uh-oh.
He did duck. He duck and tumble.
He did. He took the advice. Very well played.
Sivir, one of the only champions that tells you how to counterplay her.
This is true. I'm trying to think of another one, but I ain't gotten anything, Kobe. You got me. CoreJJ and KiWiKid, like we said, holding this lane quite nicely, but Piglet's only looking to ramp up here. If he's not going to be able to go hard with the stuns of Xpecial, then they're just going to wait for 6 and make that power count when the time comes. Shiphtur having a little bit better of a lane to start off, but we really haven't seen jungle pressure affecting any of the lanes, so it's all up to the skill matchup so far. And every player is doing their duty.
We do notice, though, so Jarvan has actually started even the first back with Stalker's Blade. You know, sometimes we'll see you start out with Trailblazer and then move into Stalkers later before you enchant, but he really wants to have a high-impact gank. Counter jungling, he moves up just in time, doesn't get hit with the Vault Breaker.
That would have spelled bad news bears for him.
Dominate's definitely ahead, though.
Smites the Wisp, so he's actually going to make sure he stays around. He doesn't lose too much on that flag and drag over the wall. So he kind of creates a little bit of chaos for Team Liquid, but I think he lost out a little bit more on that.
He definitely does. Jarvan is definitely on the back foot, not only because Dominate had a more efficient farming route for early on, but also because he started the Stalker's Blade, and he is a bit behind now. He's forced into the farming. However, he's got suboptimal smite for the farming.
Right.
And we'll see if he actually is able to make anything happen, because Dominate using the extra gold as well as experience to bully him out.
And he's on Trailblazer as well, so he's going to be ripping through those camps. Cloudnguyen's just kind of trying to hit them all with Q. Could have something big coming up here. We do see Shiphtur actually hurt in the mid lane, so he just took some good damage off of from FeniX with this pressure still in the top lane from Dig. We'll have to keep an eye on all of this.
Cloudnguyen did use his smite on the Raptors, though, so he knows that his gank will be unseen. If he goes over ward, it will proc, so he really wants to make use of that chilling smite. Another good binding here. KiWiKid.
That was textbook. That was really nice.
KiWiKid has had some good plays recently. I actually really enjoyed his Thresh game yesterday. He had some very good plays in lane to help their duo secure some power.
There are calculated plays in there. Yeah, he'll say, my flash is up and I have mobility boots, so I'm diving in. But some of them are calculated. We see a few of those here at the top lane. His Morgana play definitely being one that he plays a little bit more reserved on and accurate with those skill shots. 7 minutes in.
So far.
Yeah, 7 minutes in. Just a 200 gold lead. And it's really coming from the jungle. Dominate's having a little bit better of a time, but no real results produced, like we said. It's just been skill matchup in the lanes. BF sword for CoreJJ to Piglet's Cutlass now. He actually got to that real fast last game. He's getting a little bit of pressure, but not pushed off the lane just yet. Or maybe not. He is pushed as Gamsu wants to go full. Equalizer taking out the wave and gave him a real nice chance there to get a kill.
It was actually quite a beautiful equalizer there, not only to tag Piglet, but take out the wave and allow him time to roam and get some extra pressure down here by Dragon. So he won't have his ultimate for the fight. However, the pressure he created, he knows that Piglet does not have any means of joining this fight. So he shoves him under the turret to make sure he won't join, and then spends his time mid. Dominate wants to go for this steal here. He does have flash.
Oh, he fizzled out.
Good play by Dignitas Cloudnguyen to back off and wait for the Q charge to run out.
At least they have the relative time run it. Well, actually, the timer, the ward was over the wall, but you can see Dominate not real happy with that. You see a physical emotion on his screen, so he's going to try to get something back for the team now. Nothing to be really that worried about. We heard Zyrene talking on the desk at how he enjoys when teams are okay with letting dragons go. We just figure out how to come back in the later part of the game, because it's not the end of the world.
That's the thing. I'm okay with teams being all right with letting... All right, well, let's see it here. We got a flash.
Yeah.
Now,
continue.
I'm okay with teams trading dragons early
yes, that's
for pretty much anything. Like a kill, a turret, whatever you're going to get for it. I'm okay with trading it for something. If you give it away for almost nothing, then that is an issue, because you don't want to just give anything away for free. And I think Dignitas did it in a very smart way. As you mentioned, the wave shove there from Gamsu, and then coming down to farm mid at the same time. So play from them. They do end up also answering the swap here, as
back down.
CoreJJ and KiWiKid head down bottom. So does Piglet.
An interesting lane. It's not one that kind of says I want a lane swap at all, but then going at each other, both can kill the 2v2 situation. Now coming up to level 6, that kill potential is going to be much, much greater. So I'm glad they actually matched up towards this bottom lane here. Coming up on 10, and we do have Xpecial hit it first. That means KiWiKid's going to be looking to maybe hit the shield if they go in. Flash is down, however, from Xpecial, so I'm just getting excited for nothing. Dang.
All right, so bottom lane, both of them trying to get some wards down here. Dignitas, though, there's a pink ward in this tri-bush, and Dominate wants to come take advantage.
Yeah, so that's what they were waiting on.
Ping's already down. They're telling him that the ward was used in the side bush right now. Xpecial's telling Dominate. So he's going to go around through the pink ward. Problem is, Sivir Morgana is so hard to gank for Vi. It's going to be up to Xpecial, really. He's got the magic damage to burst through a black shield, and they're going to have to proc the spell shield before Vi ultimate goes off. So it can be done for Team Liquid, but it will be difficult. Meanwhile, Cloudnguyen has taken the opportunity to invade the other side of the jungle.
I feel like Team Liquid tried a little too hard for that one. Just sticking everybody in the brush and like Piglet, go out there and bait them. Not buying it. KiWiKid and CoreJJ just farming it safely. And now, since it didn't work bottom lane, Piglet, or rather, Xpecial and Dominate are going to head towards that mid lane. Once again, fizzles out on that. Only because Shiphtur starts to head towards the top side. We could see a 3-on-1 gank here.
Well, it definitely looks like they want to pull the trigger. Remember, all this vision was previously laid by Cloudnguyen. He knows there's nobody's there, plus he smited the wolf, so... Oh, Charm misses, they should still get it.
Yo, back and forth, flash it out. Yo, wait a minute! Quas, the equalizer's down, so he will burn and be slowed for Shiphtur there, but he made sure it was messy for them, and they lost one.
Look, yeah, not the cleanest of dives. They do still get a kill, but first blood money to Quas, plus they won't have the presence up top of 3 members surviving to be able to do anything to that turret. Pretty big win there for Team Liquid as another 3-man dive up top fizzles. Can he stop the retreat?
Almost.
Best Link impression,
yeah.
But Gamsu knows better. He goes for door number 2.
So let's see how he did this. He did flash at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, he flashed it first.
He avoids the knockup as well as the charm. So if Shiphtur was throwing the charm because he thought that knockup was landing, he wanted to chain them. It's a pretty good idea, but holding on to that flash till very late, Quas. Great job able to avoid it. And then he roots Jarvan back in, since Jarvan was the one to actually take it. Suboptimal having your jungler be the first one to take it, because early on they're under-leveled. They do not build any defensive stats at all. So he goes down very quickly to that. Quas happy to get that cash influx. Return to the scene of the crime, though.
Yeah.
Let's see how attempt number 2 goes.
Unfortunately for Cloudnguyen as well, that kind of helped him create the warrior enchantment too. So maybe the damage will be good enough to get through this one without dying. So that assist brought him back up.
Shiphtur leaving makes me think they will not want to do that again.
Just going to go for some denial. Dominates towards the bottom side of the map, so junglers won't find each other for a counter. And it looks like they're not going to find each other at all for a gank in the bottom lane either. Dominate walking over a ward, so we're going to see Shiphtur playing safe here. Now down about 20 CS from everything that happened, and he started losing CS once we saw them go for Dragon. So it's just been FeniX keeping that lead now. Yeah,
so FeniX has been in the mid lane the entire time.
Right.
Shiphtur went to Dragon, went up to try and dive, and we're seeing that manifest itself. I like the idea, though. You can tell they're trying to be more proactive here, Dignitas. And Shiphtur with a very offensive move that we haven't seen from him in a while. So maybe he will keep up his roaming ways. Vision coverage around mid will be important for Team Liquid to keep. Just checking the blue buff there as he went over.
Why not? They didn't have a ward. Link did it last game as well. Sometimes you're going to grab it. If you do, a huge boon to the mid lane. We see Cloudnguyen just in the pocket of Shiphtur here, and almost mirrored Dominate is making the same path down. Looks like the full team of Dignitas is moving here, so it looks like they may want to get something out of this. Obviously, Dragon is coming up, so their ward control will be first.
Spell shield on the Tibbers. Very good move from CoreJJ.
Good dodge by Piglet, also knowing the amount of time for Soul Shackle, getting shots in, then condemning. Great play all around, but
Both
Dig
carries
may have the upper hand. Uh-oh.
Teleport comes in. Dignitas retreat from Dragon.
They're good.
They did take a couple Dragon shots. They do still have vision in the river here.
Whoa. KiWiKid just flying into the fight. Team Liquid did not expect this one. Both teams losing a lot of HP here. We are going to see that Xpecial went down. Quas then following quickly after. Shiphtur here could clean up Dominate. The orb comes back, but no true damage to tack onto that one. FeniX now actually doesn't have a Sheen. Not going to be putting out huge damage, but able to still pull them off the fight. The true shot barrage is, however, spot on, and he will pick up a kill for himself. Great job, but back and forth, pretty much even.
Oh, what a pickup there for FeniX. Yeah,
yep.
So Team Liquid, they had 1-for-2 trade initially, but FeniX the sniper, able to grab blue buff, even up the kills, and allow them to take the Dragon. So this initiation from Dignitas, the ultimate from Ahri used to get her in position to initiate onto Quas, the main tank, and the ultimate from Rumble used on Annie. They do take out Annie early, but are on the retreat after that. And we'll see how low they get poked by Ezreal. These Ezreal mids have made really, really, really large impacts on the mid-game Dragon fights. And that was just good judgment by FeniX, taking into account the speed of the Ahri with level 2 boots running around that corner. Beautiful shot, and it does net them a sizable reward. Blue steal here, though, from Dignitas. They're going to answer it. And again, focus on the top lane here. Piglet waiting in the shadows this time, though.
I was actually watching that replay once again, and he Qs the little minion of the blue buff to get the ult back up because of its cooldown, so he had to quickly do that. All the little thoughts of FeniX making the plays.
Yeah.
So Quas now having a little help here from Piglet in the top, and a very unsuspecting Gamsu may fall into this trap.
Well, let's see. His team has retreated. So, Piglet initiates on him.
As soon as he went next to the wall, they said, that'll look like a nice plaque. Let's pin it up. Gamsu goes down. Piglet comes up with the kill, but they drop mid-turret, so a little bit of pressure there from Dig.
Yeah, this is what we talked about when we're talking about playmaking AD carries, though. Piglet comes up on Vayne. Assassination pulled off.
Yeah.
They get a kill. Mid lane turret goes down, though, for Dignitas. Their focus was mid lane. Objective secured. Looks like Team Liquid will take the opportunity, though, with their kill. A lot of pressure up top. See how much Quas can actually do. Maokai clears out the minion waves very quickly, but as all tanks, not very effective at taking down the structure once he's alone with it. And gets a little bored, knocking his hand against it, and takes a break.
And then my knuckles hurt. But yeah, Piglet coming out strong. And when is Dig gonna, really expect that? Teams will obviously start
AD carry
to
assassination?
Just pretty much being like,
rarely.
The AD carry is not on the map. He's probably farming a camp, and then he just jumps out of a brush and kills you. Not something we regularly see, but teams will start to take note of that now. Piglet locking in that comfort Vayne twice in a row. Xpecial with the ward. The vision's already in the brush, so looks like they are going to be forced to back out. Good control here from Team Liquid and Team Dignitas. It's definitely showing a different game from both teams, a little more organized on both sides, and they're getting what they want. One dragon apiece. The gold's pretty much all even. We're 18 minutes in.
Yeah, the AD carries with stealth. Gonna come back here.
Yeah.
Twitch assassinations mid-game you gotta worry about. Piglet's able to make
Been a while.
Work out with
Been a while.
Vayne. But they weren't able to answer the turret afterwards up top because Piglet made an immediate recall rather than staying. They could have made the call, Team Liquid, for Piglet to stay up there with Quas because they saw the commitment mid from Dig. But they decided to have Piglet recall, finish his blade, and head down bottom for farm quicker rather than take that turret. We'll see if they actually need that global gold. They have got plenty of ward coverage down around Dragon and inside the blue. So Piglet's very safe down here on this side of the map. They can actually leave him down there. Know that he will not be interrupted by a Jarvan.
I must say, interesting choice for the Phage instead of Sheen next for FeniX. Figured he'd want more damage, maybe to stay alive.
For Ezreal?
To stay alive against the Ahri if you get burst, just for the Phage health, but maybe.
So the extra speed boost is really nice.
Yeah, of course.
Mid lane here too, he doesn't have a turret, so maybe wants to play a little bit safer and get the extra speed boost from killing a minion if they do focus mid.
That was not what Piglet wanted to have happen. You can see just how quickly, if caught, That pick will go down. CoreJJ is going to be hit up by Dominate, but they changed their minds on this one. Oh, Dominate. He gets a full red carpet escort out of that. Double kill now for CoreJJ, and that's really going to start things off for that bottom lane.
This bottom lane from DIG really bringing it hard. CoreJJ and KiWiKid come up big. Gamsu answers with the teleport. Another turret goes down for Dignitas. 2 turrets to 0. And this is a mid-game team with Rumble that has the gold lead. Going on turret number 3 here.
Dignitas liking the aggression. Quas is forced to get himself down there. Ooh, twisted advance. I don't think he meant to do that, but it still looked pretty...
I think he did.
Pretty cheeky.
I'll give him credit for it.
Let's say he did. There's no ward there, but he knew. It's Quas.
Yeah.
The out of the fog of war reaction times. These guys are LCS pros.
Boom.
So a good move there by DIG. They get a good pressure in the Gamsu teleport just right on time.
And look at that. No hesitation. You know, and that just comes, it's not even communication that people are talking about between bottom lane partners. That just comes from playing with each other for long enough. And they've had enough practice now that KiWiKid hits that binding, instincts kick in for both of them. Immediate jump onto Piglet. Even Gamsu comes in with a teleport as soon as the Vi shows. So all around strong play there from Dignitas. As we go over that replay though, you know, congratulating DIG on their great play bottom.
Yeah.
Team Liquid answered it. So
they found an opening, and Team Liquid's actually been pretty good at that. Whenever they know they have a window to make something work in their favor, they'll take it. That was going to be mid turret, and now a few forward wards that may initiate some more picks, maybe if Quas can get into place.
And that's also the other thing. In a lane versus something like a Morgana, like a Thresh, like a Blitzcrank, these types of supports, side lane control is much more important than when you're against, you know, stuff like Jen or something like that. All right, well, currently the dragon control is more important, so we'll wait on that discussion. And look, Dominate chucked down to half though, might dissuade them.
Oh, that's going to be the easy smite out.
Quas goes in.
Yeah,
gets some good AoE.
Very, very far ahead of the team. Just kind of figured out if he can actually get out alive, and I can't believe that he does. He actually ropes the entire team of DIG into Liquid, and then they say, wait a minute, we don't want this. Losing Cloudnguyen there. Looks like Team Liquid comes up nicely after the dragon was taken.
Bit of a disconnect there. Cloudnguyen goes in, gets the good knock-up as well as Cataclysm, but everybody's in retreat mode. They may have made the call. They very well may have made the call for him to sacrifice himself, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Try and lock everyone in the Cataclysm. You could see flashed out after. So
good old Rumble stew.
They do lose. They lose one man in the Dragon Secure, but not too bad.
Not too bad indeed. 5-5. Still anybody's match coming into this one. It's all about the mid-game decision-making once these turrets go down and who can really start getting under the skin of their opponent. Seen Piglet get caught out already just a few times by KiWiKid's bindings. Could very easily happen again.
Thank you, Riv. We'll circle back around to that. The bindings, but side lane control versus people who are throwing skill shots out like that. Normally, we're like, oh yeah, Vayne's really good against Morgana. You can just tumble the bindings fairly easy. Slow moving skill shot. Coming from those brush though, much more difficult, and they spent so much wards, you know, in that blue side jungle. Didn't have any left over so for the side lane bush control. And it comes up with that play that we saw. Now, mid-game, Dominate trying to get to that level 11 for the reduced cooldown on his ultimate. Trying to wait for Quas's Rod of Ages to stack up. FeniX is all ready to go, though. You know, he's got his transform done. He's got his Trinity Force. He's ready to roll. See if Liquid can actually move up into the red side jungle. Placing wards now, trying to get the vision.
Pretty fearless at that. We'll say hello.
Oh, FeniX can easily bully this ward out.
Muramana's is finished there. He only alerted them to the fact that Rumble was there. Quas, he's on the front line. Vengeful Maelstrom is trying to mitigate some of this damage, but he actually goes down trying to get to Gamsu. Will Dignitas actually get on this? The charm from Shiphtur is the kiss of death coming in for FeniX. KiWiKid with a 3-man soul shackle. Only Piglet has the distance to condemn away. He goes down after the ignite ticks through. The shield's not going to help there. One Foxfire to burn down onto Xpecial, and it looks like DIG gets a beautiful catch as Team Liquid took a little bit too much of DIG's jungle.
Can Piglet be the hero? He would have to dodge.
Oh my god.
He has to dodge everything if he's going to stop this Baron. And nope, he decides to pull out. Dignitas going to try and juggle this damage. Looks like they've got it. Woo! What a hero play there, again, from KiWiKid. Lands binding, able to go in with his ultimate to secure 2 more kills, even at the cost of his own life. He has never been one to shy away from that initiation.
Nope.
Great pickup there.
Numbers or not in their favor, KiWiKid will go in.
So he's in trouble initially, but they do a good job. The Tibbers comes out, and Rumble was not stunned. So Shiphtur goes back in, snags the tank, and they're able to poke down the tank. There's that binding, allowing Shiphtur to go back in, as the rest of Team Liquid are not doing damage while Quas is tanking up. So Dignitas do a good job of poking down the tank from range. And this Dig squad, all the damage dealers were constantly on the run. KiWiKid goes in to sacrifice himself, securing 2 more kills for the team as they're able to follow up and grab Xpecial as well. KiWiKid hitting the second binding there, getting the ult off, securing some extra pressure here for Dig in mid-game.
Now this is Baron. Having Gamsu on Rumble is going to be very nice for these side lanes. He's getting that pushed in the bottom just a tad. Looks like he wants Gromp. I don't know. His team's like, don't do Gromp, push the bottom lane. He actually goes back to it there, so you can see a little bit of communication going on through Dig comps as they push up.
You don't usually want to jungle while you have Baron buff up. Looks like they are going to get 2 lines of Baron minions, though.
That'll be nice. It's definitely, now we get to see we have seen Team Liquid in a losing situation, but now repair this and kind of adapt. It's not something we've really seen them do. So get to learn a little bit about how they play and see how it happens. 26 minutes in, these are the game decisions we were going to be focusing on, these mid-game ones.
Yep, mid-game decisions as well as Rumble ultimates. As we're looking at Gamsu there, he's been a solid player for them, you know, even when they were losing and struggling. These are going to be the crucial Rumble ultimates. Some of them, you know, have only been tagging 1 person or so at a time. The last one was very strong in the jungle. It's always a very good place to fight with Rumble. But he's going to need to continue to get some strong Rumble ultimates for them to control the battlefield here. They do have plenty of skill shots if KiWiKid and Shiphtur are able to come up with picks. So we'll see here. Trying to establish vision. They get some outer gold here, not pressing too hard with their Baron buff. The assassin Piglets moves in. Teleport comes in to cut off the escape. Looks like Gamsu's going to have his work cut out for him.
Oh, that was really nice. I would have done it straight up and down, but Gamsu gets some good damage onto Piglet. It's going to be the rest of the team that wants a piece of this one.
Bottom.
Yeah,
Can they pressure?
Quas picks that up onto Gamsu, but this is Dignitas doing what they want on the other side of the map. A little bit of deja vu. It wasn't Gamsu stopping Baron, but he was being the trouble that's going to allow Dignitas to get a little bit more of a lead. Bottom turret does go down in their favor, and they're just slowly using this now.
All right, so Gamsu's sacrifice earns them a tower and a half. See if they can revisit that bottom side. They are spending a lot of their money on the Vision War in this red side jungle, which does have a double effect, prepping for the dragons as well as that softened up inhibitor turret. Getting pretty low though. Dominate really wants this one. That should be a smite fight. Cloudnguyen could get picked off. He's got to be real careful there.
Wasn't happy about losing that first one, so they're going to try to get the ones thereafter.
Position on mid. Since everyone got low from Dragon, Dignitas a little bit overreaching with that. Maybe a tiny bit greedy Dragon call there. Took a bit too much damage and they get zoned off of their mid secondary. That's going to cost them.
Well, communication is still there for Team Liquid as well. They know that being behind a little bit isn't going to stop the game for them, so they can push on, and it's good to see that they're not second-guessing their calls, something that's been plaguing a few teams in the North American LCS. We're going to be coming up on 30 minutes. Some of the games today have ended in this time, but definitely seeing a more balanced game here between Team Liquid and Team Dignitas. Looking at a few of the inventories as we're getting some backs. I like the buy by Shiphtur here with the Führer boots, giving that 12% movement speed on Decay, kind of accelerating the passive of his Q. This whole team just wants to go fast with the composition they have anyways.
All right, let's see. Dignitas with the counter shove. As Team Liquid retreated into the jungle to farm up those creeps. They wanted to secure a little bit extra farm. Dignitas again with another counter move. Make them pay. Let's see. It's pretty much going to hinge on the next team fight here, though. Dignitas's gold lead is not insurmountable. Team Liquid very well equipped here. Rod of Ages,
Yep.
fully stacked up already for this Maokai. So if they can have Quas actually tank while they are ready for the Xpecial initiation, Quas and Xpecial are on the same page and are able to get an initiation onto Dig, then Team Liquid can turn the next one around. However, Dignitas, they've been doing a good job keeping up those wards in the side of the jungle that they want to fight in. You know, currently that Team Liquid blue side.
Also the safety of two Zanyas coming into the fight as well. Ability to disengage with that speed or engage. It's going to be tough. Both teams have a lot of options.
Oh yeah, Morgana works really hard. Support Morgana works so hard for her Zanyas. When she finally gets it, huge smile for KiWiKid. He can now go for that same type of initiation and not have to worry about the instant burst. So we'll see. Morgana Flash is also available, so KiWiKid with everything at his disposal, ready to be that playmaker.
This game really is all about speed, Kobe. You got Piglet picking up a Phage now. Righteous Glory onto Xpecial for a little bit of that. And I thought we would see a Quicksilver Sash as well onto Piglet, but FeniX first. Looks like he's going to keep himself safe.
All right, well, let's check it out. Who will get the first skill shot to land? Vision secured for Dignitas. They're going to look for that binding coming from the Fog of War. Saplings are good tools. They initiate on the tank again. No team.
Quas thought he had the bait, but he was the bait, and he goes down to Dignitas. Piglet's forced to flash. That's not good for a Vayne, especially with the focus Dig wants to put on him.
2-for-1 summoners there. KiWiKid with the exhaust and flash for just the flash. They want to reinitiate though. They still have the advantage here.
Whoa.
4 versus 5. Dignitas going to circle around.
That's going to be, one of the bindings. Oh, they actually are all forced to flash on this. And now look, Dig could actually start to pressure up. Baron is going to be spawning.
Another vision play. So Dignitas baiting again.
Oh, over the wall, the flag and drag. Timbers will not be used this fight. That is a big amount of DPS that was supposed to be in the composition. CoreJJ coming up with another follow-up kill. That's the gotta go fast. That's the speed of Dig, and they pick up 2 more.
And you can see why Dignitas had spent so much time putting all this vision effort into that quadrant of the map. Pick team with vision control over Baron is really tough to deal with. So KiWiKid's binding lands, and again, they get a kill, now they get a Baron. They're gonna lose out on that bottom turret. Counter push from Team Liquid. They're trying to, at least get something out of the trade.
Without any vision on the Baron, they don't know how long they have at the turret. With quite a bit of damage, they may have been able to get that down. They decide to back off. You can see they're placing wards on the exit, so a little bit of breadcrumb vision there as they make their way out to hopefully figure out what Dignitas's next plans are. 4,000 gold in the lead, and now they have Baron.
Yep. Team Liquid cannot afford to be on the receiving end of the initiation anymore. They've lost too many fights. Xpecial gets blown up before he's able to do anything. And again, the power of these Sivir squads when they do gain that vision control.
Yeah.
If you lose one, you will lose multiple.
So a ping from Dignitas towards the top lane. Put some pressure on this middle one. They're gonna be careful. They won't have Shiphtur. They just pinged him out to the side lane. So you can see actually the full team reacting. They're saying if you're gonna push that, vision in the bottom red side, and we'll go for the bottom. All in due time. 40 seconds on a dragon, so that could be theirs. Number 3 won't mean too much here, and we probably won't be reaching 6 this game, but it's not something they want to give up to Team Liquid for free. So it will be theirs, and then they'll move on.
All right, well, let's see. Vision plays once again from Dig. This time, moving their way out to the other side of the map. They're actually being really methodical with their coverage here. You see they've had True Sight the entire path that they took into the jungle. Pink ward number 1, pink ward number 2, and then double sweepers. So they used True Sight the entire way through the jungle. However, at this point, it's really hard to bait Team Liquid. Not only because they've been caught out so many times, but because there's not very many places on the map for Dig to be that make a lot of sense besides in their jungle, headed to bottom lane, pushing down the turret.
Eyes on to Xpecial a little bit here. Where the Annie Tibbers could come from. It's not going to be a flash. Also really keeping eyes on Cloudnguyen and the bindings of KiWiKid here to see if they can start anything off. Like you said, it's going to be hard to get on this turret, but you can already see that early damage they had. And actually, they're not even seeing the turret now. They do actually take it, but think they can take the fight after. So will they? Without focusing champions first, it's going to be a very tough fight, and they do go 1 for 1. KiWiKid with one final shot. Piglet actually calls himself back.
Yep, he used it at the beginning. So no snipe this time from FeniX. KiWiKid limps away. But again, Team Dignitas, they just rush down. Pop Sivir ultimate in the chaos, taking down the turret. So even though they lose a member, pretty good trade.
It could have been very easy to just stay in that fight and want more, especially when you're at the inhibitor point of the game. But that was a very, like you're saying, good decision.
Dragon secured, so that will be number 3. Once again, probably going to be determined by another Baron rather than going towards the 5th Dragon. Piglet, though, has got plenty of attack speed now. He's got that Trinity Force build as well.
Too.
That is popular with a lot of the Vayne.
Hey, if these guys actually reach the turrets, which they have already, they're going to be crushing them once they do. You have Ezreal and Vayne now with Trinity Force. That'll be some good damage. Dignitas loses one of these fights, it can easily flip right back in the favor of Team Liquid.
Yeah, we will see if Team Liquid are actually able to pull off the combo. Maokai and Ahri have never been able to sync up this entire game. Xpecial and Quas really have to be together at the same time with vision of Dignitas. It's just been vision, Dignitas controlling the vision much, much better and gaining all of the rewards of the pick. See here, they're not really giving Team Liquid an opportunity. Grouping up here for the 1-4 split push. Gamsu does have his teleport ready to join the team.
Just trying to think of the early game. So even here, and I guess that's why we have the end game that we do so far, or just mid to late. 36-36 on the clock, and Dig's holding a 6,000 gold lead. Definitely one of the biggest they've had throughout the season, and they're doing a good job at holding it steady and still giving Team Liquid different things to think about. Not getting complacent, which we've actually heard a lot of teams, even that are winning, are something that they're afraid of, is once you have the lead, it's very easy to just kind of fall back and not go hard.
Well, Dignitas, they are not resting on their laurels. They return to the bottom lane. Exposed inhibitor. As you said, it's still, you know, a daunting task to take this team fight. If you're bunched up through the entrance here to Team Liquid's base, then Quas and Xpecial have to be on the same page. They will be able to get that initiation off.
And that flash is up now too, so that'll be a little bit better. Minute and 30 on to Baron. You mentioned, Kobe, that it might be something they're waiting for here. Obviously, they can poke as much as they want, but more looking for a mistake than trying to go hard.
Yeah, really right now, I think they're just trying to keep Team Liquid bottled up. So Dignitas, what they'd really like to do, you know, if they were able to get some damage on the inhibitor, that'd be great. But really, just try and keep them occupied for long enough for them to be able to move over to Baron and, again, establish that true site so that they can then pick people off of Team Liquid as they come to try and check Baron.
They've cracked it, Kobe. They've got one hit for JJ. Scratch on it. Well, it doesn't look like Team Liquid's going to make that mistake again, and they just keep a whole plethora of people bottom. A minute on to Baron, and that's going to be Dignitas here. Top lane, possibly. Now to go after that, it's going to be the easiest turret to take down with maybe getting a fight out of Liquid if they overextend.
Yep, so far, good job. You know, mission accomplished. Dignitas kept Team Liquid bottled up in their base long enough for their ward coverage to expire. Wards run out for Team Liquid, and Dignitas move in. You can see KiWiKid recalled. He got another pink ward, and his sight ward refilled, or his sight stone refilled with wards. So he can lay down the coverage. The rest of the team is actually backing to help supplement this. They need as many pink wards as possible. Both Cloudnguyen as well as Shiphtur picking up their pink wards. And they want to establish the area to get their pick from once again. Take advantage of the Ahri plus Morgana ability to even take down a tank if they snag Quas.
It's going to be tough to really snag anybody in either of these fights. Both teams now with two options on either side. Asanya for Gamsu and Kiwi. The Quicksilver Sashes to keep FeniX and Piglet out and roaming with damage. Definitely going to have to be a focused fight. And I love it when it comes down to these extra abilities that have to be used. You really see who's on point. Just dodging out on that. FeniX, however, getting his poke damage in. And you saw how effective that was of Link's Ezreal last game. So maybe he can start putting the pressure back on. This is actually the first time in like 5 minutes we've seen Team Liquid really outside their base. So this could be the opportunity they're looking for.
Whoa, FeniX with the forward arcane shift.
Ooh. Starting the barbecue off right. Gamsu hits a nice equalizer. That's going to take down FeniX. This could be it. Piglet, however, he is roaming back and forth. He doesn't have much control over who he's hitting, though. He's on the outside too far. That's going to be more getting dropped in. Great kills coming in from CoreJJ. He picks up 2 for himself. Looks like Gamsu gets 1 more on the board, and Cloudnguyen's going to lead the team as they head in for the inner turret.
Boom. Dignitas, the diligent vision game, pays off once again. Mid inhibitor turret going to go down. This could be them ending the game and taking the base.
Absolutely could be them ending the game, following pretty much all the calls they put on the table, whether good or bad this game, and it is going to bring them to the top. It is going to bring them to a victory here. 69,000 to 58.7 in a 40-minute game here on week 3. Dignitas will pick up the match over Team Liquid.
Cloudnguyen in his 2nd game only. Coming into Dignitas. This guy's still on trial, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
He is still in tryouts. Dignitas have not made the final word, but 2nd game, much better for him than the 1st one. Much better for the team overall. I really particularly like the bottom lane's play here from Dignitas this game around. KiWiKid and CoreJJ creating plays themselves.
Weren't worried about the Vayne and playing confident throughout the matchup.
9-0-7 for CoreJJ on the Sivir.
Definitely a much happier and relieved Dignitas. That relief is going to help, kind of more than anything here. It's something they needed to feel, and I'm sure the team can use it.
Yeah. And for their opponents, Team Liquid. You know, last week's stumble sort of extending here, and they're definitely going to have to go back to the drawing board. They do have one of the most robust coaching staff of all of the organizations, so they should be able to lick their wounds, go over the mistakes, and come back strong. Already discussing the game, Dominate and Quas. I mean, it simply came down to just better initiations from Dignitas, single-person plays, and then that translating into really solid ward coverage from them. You know, opening up those mid-game picks.
Liquid had the idea, and we saw it start to come into play. Once the lanes kind of broke out, they said, let's use Vayne. Let's get that assassination going. They got 1 kill into Gamsu top, and then it's kind of like Dignitas said, that's the goal that Liquid's looking for. Let's keep ourselves warded up on our side. We cannot let Piglet get fed. And that's actually what happened for Liquid last time, or Piglet get fed on Liquid, and that's how they got it. So they were able to kind of just put a crutch there for Team Liquid and really play the game out balanced. I think that's a great way to put it. It wasn't hugely in favor of either team, but we did see a lot of balance in that game. It could have been anybody's for a long time. For a blow-by-blow